okay, because as I'm now trying to read the stuff that's on there, it showed that
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay, 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But man, this match, WWE and AEW got to get their shit together. Lion Tamer. Of course. But seeing Andrade and how good he looks, like corkscrew fucking lie detector out the ring from off the top rope, like, all right.
I was like, the table, bro. The table spot.
Fam, that table was the stiffest, most painful looking table spot. Like, oh, he locked that submission in. Like, I have to give it to Evil because Evil sold that move.
Which, by the way, John Cena, I want you to watch this match and realize this is a retirement. This is what retiring looks like.
Shout out to New Japan for showing up. Because,
Also,
boy, they showed up tonight, too.
welcome to another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast. It's your host who likes to post, the Mazaku.
Is that the one we're sticking with?
Yeah, I like that. The host who likes to post.
Because I saw you did that in the video that we put on TikTok. If you haven't seen it, you should check it out.
Yep.
And so, but it's your boy, Swag Switch in the building.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit more clean than the demon that be making your girl screaming or some shit like that. Like, it's a little bit more clean.
I mean, sure.
But the hosts who like to post is, you know what I'm saying, we try to promote posting more and doing more stuff. So
I just thought that was just for the fact that you was posting the video. At this point, in my mind, I'm like, you're just going to change it every time we do it.
Nah, I'm sticking to the host who likes to post. I like that.
Host who like... Listen, Mr. McKinnon always winning really got you out here.
Yo, man, that joint's fire, bro. Because you gotta have a moniker, you have a thing that makes you who you are. Just like how you were saying in one of the matches we're gonna talk about.
Mr. McKinnon always winning, and he's the host with the most, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh man, he's the host who's the oh man, because I said host who like to post. Oh man, that kind of almost sounds like a biting. Shit.
Yes, he is the host with the most.
I mean, that's a normal one that people have said before. So like, yeah.
But but his main one is Mr. McKinnon always winning. So So listen, it is up to your discretion.
Yeah.
He seems like a cool guy. I'm sure he won't see it as you're biting. If anything, he'd probably feel honored that that you've inspired that he's inspired you to want to get something like that going. So there is that. But
I know you guys are not here to hear us talk about our intros. I know you guys are here for Wrestle Kingdom. Man, boy, Wrestle Kingdom 20 was an event. I will say that much. Watching Tag League all the way up to Wrestle Kingdom has been a journey to get back into New Japan, because I haven't been watching New Japan since 2015-ish, I think it was, when it was starting to peak. And we had AJ Styles, we had Shinsuke still there, we had, Okada, Omega, we even had Chris Jericho over there at one point. So it was a very peak season for New Japan, and for it to now have this is technically the end of an era, as Hiro Tanahashi, he has retired. He has retired with this match, and we're going to go over this card because it's a very interesting card. Some matches you're like, oh, I'm actually excited about that. And some matches like, miss a match.
So I would easily say, because this honestly was really, dang it. There we go. The fuck? Anyway, this honestly was this has been, from going through the Tag League to this is my very first ever New Japan run of watching the product kind of thing. Because, in the past, New Japan was always, you hear about it, and certain small, very, very small sectors of friends would talk about it, but it was never something that I necessarily locked into. And there was a point where I did really want to lock into it when Cody Rhodes went over there, but I still never did. And that was mostly just because I'll be honest with you. I am a lazy watcher of content. Okay, like I've always been, and I still am that way. If it's not live on TV when I'm watching it, or if I'm not going to go watch it at like an event or a movie or something like that, 9 times out of 10, I'm not going to see it. And so it's like with New Japan, because there's no, hey, watch on Nickelodeon, New Japan at 9 o'clock. You know, like
that is crazy.
That was like, I don't know why that was the first like
but
TV
because
network.
it's new, because it's in.
However it may be, because New Japan didn't just come on like a regular channel for me to watch it, I didn't watch it. Like when TNA lost its channel to watch
TNT or whatever, Spike.
Exactly. Like so when it lost the channel that could be watched on Spike TV, that was the end of me watching TNA for a very long time. And then when it came back on TV, by the time it did that, I was living in a place where I did not have cable. Therefore, I couldn't watch it. Just like how with Lucha Underground. Now, I will say, Lucha Underground first started off with the fact that I didn't even know it was existing.
Yeah.
And then we stumbled upon it, and I did watch it when I could see it on TV. But once cable was gone, I'm not
the
going.
L-Ray network, yeah.
I was like, I'm not. I've never been one that goes out of his way to find a streaming platform and go to, or a website. Back then, I was never one to go to a website and then try to watch a TV show or watch something that I was interested in.
It's pretty much you put it in your face. You know, you got to watch it.
Exactly. Like, because with that way, I don't have to make the time has already been made. I just have to be there for the time for it to show. That's why I like with what regular wrestling right now. I know I need to be somewhere in front of a TV at 8 o'clock to watch Raw on Monday. I know I need to be in front of a TV at 8 o'clock to watch NXT or AEW on the days that they come on. With TNA, it's still a little harder for me to watch it because it's like I have to go to a particular website at this time when they post it, and it's like I prefer that. I like that live element because there's like I know, okay, that's when it shows up. All right, I know I need to be there for that because in other ways, when it comes to certain content like that, if I know that, oh hey, this got posted this morning, go watch it whenever you can. All right, cool.
There's nothing that's forcing you to watch it because it's like if you like back in the day when you watched wrestling in the 90s, if you missed Raw, you missed it. Like
exactly,
and you could not miss it. So when DVR and stuff like that came out, it was like, okay, you could consume wrestling, you can miss it, and then you could pick it up if you missed it. But it removed the element of it must-see TV because you could just record it now.
Yes, and unfortunately, I have in more recent times kind of broken that a bit about myself. So it's like I like with the way that New Japan was for me, I had to throughout my day makeshift my own time to watch New Japan. And in the midst of those times, those times where it's like I could watch New Japan or I could sit here and play on my game or go and do this or go and do that.
Yeah,
since it's
very much similar mindsets, by the way. Very, very similar mindsets.
And so it's all like I'm like but now I have, but because it's there for me to watch it, but it's not like if I don't watch it, I won't be able to watch it again type thing. It's that whole idea of like, oh, well, I guess I'll watch it later. And then all of a sudden now I'm super backed up on my animes and TV shows and still haven't watched Wednesday and Stranger Things. And so it's a process. But going back into the experience of like really finally getting my hands on some New Japan, it's been fun. It's also been refreshing because the storytelling is different, but there is still some kind of storytelling. Now, granted, there are certain points where I'm like, well, the wrestling business is still going to be the wrestling business because Jesus Christ, Zack Sabre Jr. But, you know, we're going to get into all of that here shortly.
Which, again, like I said, yes, it will be the business, but at least in a lot of these matches, I do get surprised by some wins. There are going to be some matches where I was surprised by the win. There's one match, when we get to it, I was like, when you told me what is the stipulation for the match, I already know who fucking wins. I already know. So, let's go ahead and talk about the pre-show. Pre-shows with some young lions. One of them was Matsumoto. I think another one was Yasada. And that was another team, by the way. Matsumoto was on a team with... damn, I can't remember the other name. But I remember Matsumoto and Yasada because they were the ones that finished the match. And it finished with a Boston Crab, which Swag noticed that the Boston Crab was a bit different because normally as you apply a Boston Crab, you sit on it. But this dude was bouncing and adding pressure to the lower body, which is...
Listen, I was when watching this, because at first I didn't realize this was a pre-show. It wasn't like, because like I turned it on, and it was like, this pre-show was like 2 matches.
Yeah.
And it was
which
like,
is good, though.
And I was like, because you told me, it was like, oh, it starts at 1. I'm like, all right, cool. I put it on, I was like, all right, so that match happens. I'm like, oh, it's Young Lions. Okay, cool. It's all Young Lions doing their thing. And then there was the second match that happened. And after that second match, it
went back to the...
It went to that little screen where the music's playing. And I'm just like...
I ain't gonna lie. I thought for a second mine was off, or like maybe the pre-show was like, okay, this is the pre-show. Now you got to actually go to the video to watch the real show,
bro. Like I literally did that, and then it's like, oh no, it's okay. Because as I'm now trying to read the stuff that's on there that was readable for me, it showed that, and all of a sudden
2 a.m.
2 a.m. Okay. 2 a.m.
Yeah.
I thought we was getting started at 1.
And that's what it said on the flyer. I even sent you the flyer. It said 1 a.m.
Which you're not wrong.
Yeah.
It's just that that was the pre-show.
Yeah.
Which is still considered part of the show.
Yeah.
But it was not the show.
Yeah. Which I was like, man, but even at 2 a.m., I was like, oh, that's rough.
Bro, that was exactly what I said next. I was like, oh, okay, 2 a.m. And at this point, I've been up all day playing games, doing this and that. And I'm like,
I don't know if I'm going to make this, bro.
Oh, this is about to be a marathon right here. Okay.
Yep.
So I strapped in.
I will admit I was in the space for a minute, and you know my wife's sitting next to me as I'm working on something, and I was like, man, it's 1 o'clock. I guess I'm gonna watch the pay-per-view in bed because I'm like, man, all right, it's cool. So I start watching the pay-per-view, and again we get to the first match, which is the pre-show, and the second match is ELP versus Chris Brookes from DDT for the TV, the New Japan TV title, which. I'm kind of confused. Like, how the fuck you got a TV title, but y'all don't have, like, regular weekly TV?
Listen, talk to goddamn Ring of Honor about that.
Well, they technically post on YouTube, so like they do lives on YouTube, at least.
All right.
But like,
I'll give it that.
New Japan system, for anybody who's watching New Japan for the first time, New Japan doesn't have a Raw or SmackDown. They go off of a touring system. So what they do is they travel across multiple locations in Japan, and every event you go to is a house show. It's a house show until you get to a pay-per-view. And oftentimes for American audiences, we're weekly episodic shows where we're building storyline to get to a match, right? But New Japan, because of their touring system, every event is a house show. And because they're house shows, you're getting nothing but tag matches, and then like one match that builds on story. And some of the tag matches can also build on story too, depending on who they go against. It could be like, for example, TMDK and the Knockout Brothers, like say Tag League. That whole storyline of them like disliking each other, and you see how Yoto Ice and Zack Sabre Jr., they're in each other's faces, like, oh, fuck you, you know, doing all this shit. And you see, well, no, this was a different situation because it was Yoto and somebody else, but they were like, no, excuse me, it's Gay Kid and Yuta Suji, and it was Yoto Ice and Oscar, and then you also had Gay Kid. So Gabe and Yoto are in each other's faces. And I forgot who else it was, but it's like two Japanese individuals, like, just let them do their thing, you know what I'm saying? So they're building on story in elements after the match and causing conflict and stuff like that. But there's no backstage segments. There's no, like, you know, hey, let me see what you're doing here, and then causing conflict. You don't really see those. So,
and I feel as if that, for a while, that was, as someone at the time who was on the outside looking in, it was like I used to, and I did say the fact that, you know, New Japan does not have story. Mm-hmm. But after watching it and, you know, seeing it up until this point for the last, 2 months now, it's like I realized it's not, New Japan doesn't not have story. They just tell stories in a very different way. They tell, no, not just in the ring, but like their stories are long term. They're like they are almost the epitome of long term booking to a certain degree.
Yeah, like what Hunter wants to do.
Yes, and that's because of the fact that New Japan, I feel they pay. And I think also because of the fact that the way that New Japan runs, which makes it easy for them, but it's like their continuity amongst their wrestlers and their character is what keeps their stories going, kind of thing. Because as you said, their stories happen in the ring and happens in the match, and the match themselves are what tell the stories. So, for example, when you look at, you know, the main event of tonight, which was Okada going up against Tanahashi, kind of thing, the story between them is not so much of what they've said. It's more so looking at the battles that they've had and the things and their reactions to those battles and what those battles have meant leading up until this point.
Yes, and that's why, you know, when everybody was seeing the Okada and Kenny Omega matches, people were loving them because the storytelling in every match leading up to the point where, you know, Okada's getting ready to do the Rainmaker and Kenny just drops down because he's not trying to get hit by the Rainmaker. So he just collapses. And people were like, that is storytelling. His body just went into, you know, fight or flight mode and said, hey, yo, he's about to do the Rainmaker? Fuck this. So, yes, their storytelling is definitely different, but the consistency of their characters are what's very prominent. Because like I was just saying with Yoto Ice and Gabe Kidd, these are two hotheads. So if they're going to get in the ring, they're going to talk shit to each other. And they're going to do it every fucking time. There's no going to be like, oh, yeah, we were just talking shit to each other. Hey, man, you cool with me, bro. Yo, you're not going to see that next week. It's, yo, anytime I see you, nigga, what's up? So I do like that consistency, too. But getting back into this match, ELP, which is El Phantasmo, versus Chris Brookes. Chris Brookes was from Dream. DDT stands for Dream. I want to say it's Destination Team. I can't remember it, but that's what it means. But it's DDT, which is a promotion that actually Kenny Omega and Takeshita were both in.
Oh.
Yeah, if you notice when Takeshita was coming out, he has New Japan, AEW, and DDT as his connections, because, you know, a lot of people see DDT as a comedy promotion, But there is some comedy. There's a lot of comedy in it, but there is also real wrestling. So, ELP going against Chris Brookes is an introduction to Chris Brookes for me. Pretty decent match. There were some spots in there that I was like, man, Chris Brookes, okay. He's a pretty good kid. Pretty good wrestler. I can see that. But ELP, I don't know if he just got this the green light from Tanahashi, but he starts air guitaring now, and he's somewhat still connected to him. He also had Bret Hart trunks.
I took a note on that. I was like, all right, Bret, I see what we're doing.
Because he's Canadian.
Something.
Yeah. Even ELP's signature is the Canadian Revolution 2. I don't know what the first Canadian Revolution is.
Who knows what the first one was?
I don't know what it was, but Canadian Revolution 2. And actually, a funny thing is there is a website that actually shows wrestlers' finishers, but like from AEW. And I didn't remember, but ELP actually was in AEW for a little bit, for a couple of matches. Oh. So I found a website, and I was like, I remember them saying that one of his moves was Thunder Kiss 86. And I know there's a song called Thunder Kiss 65, and I was like, wait, did he name it? So had to look it up. And I looked it up, and there's a website that literally shows them doing all their moves in the moveset. Like, literally, like, video. Like, somebody took video, and they're GIFs of them doing the moves.
That's actually kind of dope. That's something. Number one, someone took some time for that.
Yes.
But that's also just a really dope thing for someone to want to archive and create.
Just to be like, what's that person's finisher? So you can see it.
Mm-hmm. Like, it's funny because the only other ways that you really see that is if someone actually did find a way to get uploaded on YouTube. Mm-hmm. Like, I was looking up a test not too long ago, and I was looking at how like he did the test driver and stuff, and I was like,
it's Crossroads.
It's the Crossroads, but Jesus, it's so much better, bro.
He snaps it. That's why.
Yes, and that's what makes it so much. Because now that I'm saying this out loud, the reason why I was looking it up was like, why am I so on the Crossroads? But I know I like the test drive so much that I'm pretty certain that on like the wrestling game for a while was rocking the test drive.
Yeah, because the way they did it was, and then he snaps with it, and then the person comes out like, oh, you know.
Yes, because it's the torque of when he like just kind of hits that spin, and of course it's the sell, and it's like Cody Rhodes, he doesn't
a DDT almost.
A little bit, because it's like, number one, Cody Rhodes does not add nearly enough torque into it. And it's like, yeah, it's really just like, you know, as where Tessa's like, like just straight.
Oh, man.
Listen, Test Drive and the Test Big Boot undefeated, ladies.
Oh, yeah, no, Test was a legendary wrestler. But overall, with this match on ELP and Chris Brookes, what were your thoughts about it?
So, as someone who had no idea who any of these motherfuckers were, especially also still like in this of trying to figure out when does this show actually start, because I'm like going into it, I'm like, I don't remember them talking about this on like any of the promos. So, like, where the fuck does this match come from? Mm-hmm. And then, but it was a really good match, and I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. And then I was hit with that, all right, because like that match happened, and it was like 20 minutes till the actual pay-per-view.
Yeah, that match was longer than definitely the Young Lion match.
And so it's like 140, and I'm like, all right, cool. And then it goes to that stream. I'm like, did I click the wrong thing? I thought I said to watch the actual pay-per-view. Did this happen prior, or where are we at?
Yeah, no, it is definitely a moment where you're curious, like, what the fuck's going on? And then we actually go into the real first match, technically, because in my brain, we on match 3.
that part.
He's on match 3.
And also, let's just to give an extra special light to New Japan, because this is like the first like New Japan exclusive pay-per-view we've talked about on this podcast.
Yes.
And so it's like, granted, you know, we in the very beginning we said like, yeah, we're gonna cover New Japan, and it took us a minute.
Yep.
But we're here now, and so shout out to New Japan for showing up. Because boy, they showed up tonight too.
Also, shout out to their website that gives you like everything. Like, say if you missed it and you want to be able to talk about it, they give you the entire card, who won, who lost, and how the match ended, and also the time frame. So, like, if you're like, oh yeah, the match was, I don't remember, was it 30 minutes? And it's like, nope, everything is right there.
Yeah, no, I like, as I was like kind of like peeping at this thing, it's actually it's really cool because yeah, it literally. This next match that we're about to talk about, the never open 6-man tag team tornado.
It's a tornado Rambo. Yeah, Rambo. Yeah. So the stipulation for the match is you can lose via throwing over the top rope. You can lose from submission. You can lose from pin. So it's pretty much like a Royal Rumble. But here's the thing: if you get eliminated, your entire team gets eliminated. So that's the part that really fucking sucks, because if you're the one that get, bruh, going to the back, it's like, bruh, how the fuck? So, yeah. But a lot of different tag teams that came in, well, a lot of different trios, excuse me, that came in there. I know it was my boys, the Knockout Bros, with, who was it? Was it not Bone Soldier? Was it, who was their third man? I can't remember their third man right now.
It was, wasn't it Clark Connors?
Let me see. Hold on, let me check. So, the Knockout Bros. Okay, so no. It was Clark Connors.
Okay. Yeah.
So you got Master Wada, you got you got Yono, which Master Yodo actually came out as Yono himself, which is really funny. You got Bolton, you got Yushi, you got Gato.
So for me, when it came to this match, right, I will easily admit I was lost.
Yeah, they got photos and everything of this shit too. That's crazy.
I was so lost watching this match because I could not quite grasp what the process was and what was happening. And it was just a lot of people in the ring and in that space. Although it's interesting because it's like they're coming out, because I think they're coming out like one team at a time.
Yeah, it's
so
basically
the whole
like
team,
a Royal Rumble, yeah.
But like it's like a Royal Rumble where you come out, but like it's instead of it's just you, it's the whole team coming out there. And I think, which I kind of grasped that part, but then it's like if one of your members get out, you're all out. And I think the thing that was kind of like making it not really stick too hard in my brain, because like I was getting so confused, is that
you don't know who's part of what team at one point.
Yeah, like I don't know who's on whose team, and then it's like literally as people are coming out, as people are coming down to the ring, people are getting eliminated and going up and back out or going out the back of the ramp, and I'm like, wait a second. And so there was never a point where it was like, you know how when you watch a Royal Rumble or a Battle Royal of any kind, and then there's just a whole bunch of dudes or motherfuckers fighting in the ring and just throwing hands and just, you know, doing all that, then the ring never actually got full.
That's a thing that New Japan does, is they try to honor who's in the ring in one-on-one competition. So a lot of times you're just seeing people outside the ring and they're just like chilling, waiting for the next spot.
That part as well was the other thing that had me completely. I was like, all right, so these people are fighting, and these people, there's dudes just outside the ring posted up, and I was like, what are we doing here? What's happening? What is happening? Yeah. And then by the time it really started to sink into how things were going, everything was turning south, because here comes Zack Sabre Jr. and his squad, and I'm just like,
oh, he dyed his hair blonde too.
Yes.
And I was kind of pissed at that. I was like, are you trying to be Zack Sabre Jr. now?
Bro. Brother. As soon as Zack Sabre Jr. showed up, I'm like, no, we're not doing this, are we? We're not doing this.
I didn't think they would either.
And then at that, and also to add on to that fact for me, like, no, they're not doing like. In my mind, I'm like, and as I'm thinking about it, the commentators say, I'm like, aren't they supposed to be fighting for titles already?
Yeah.
Why are they in this match?
Literally.
And then it's like I see, Yota Ice and Oscar in the ring, and I'm like, and then they start fighting each other, and it was them that eliminated.
Yep,
I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah, that pissed me off. I was like,
no, we're really about to do this, huh? We're really about to just ride the jock strap of Zack Sabre Jr. and what does he call us? His little clique.
TMDK.
This TMDK fucking. I'm like, oh, come on.
The front man. He's the front man.
Yes, he is, because he is all wrestling and nothing else, and that's and boy oh boy, does New Japan love their white men who really just love to wrestle.
Yeah, they do. They love their gaijins.
They don't listen. They love their gaijins. Apparently at this point I guess in their defense, Zack Sabre Jr. is the gaijin of that company.
He's not going.
So it's like
he's not.
In the past where they've had Finn Balor and AJ Styles with the Good Brothers, when they've had the Bucks, Omega,
the Bucks was also really good gaijins. They also protected, but then they left for AEW.
Yeah, they had they had they had Bucks, Omega. And Cody Rhodes, the Nightmare. And so when you look at their gaijin landscape right now, as far as namesake value and overall status,
Zack
is all they have.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is horrible.
I mean, you do have David Finlay, but
he ain't there yet.
No,
because I do agree. I think David Finlay can be there. But, they're not looking at him like that right now.
Yeah, not pulling the trigger on him.
I mean, great. And he does have a match later on in this, which that match is bonkers, but in all the right ways, in my opinion.
Okay.
But, when this match was starting to subside, and it was starting to click in my mind, okay, I'm finally understanding what this match is.
It's already over.
And where it's going. And then I'm listening to the commentators, and they're dropping in hints that are really pissing me off, because they're all like, the two guys that Zack Sabre Jr.'s with, they're
Shane.
They're going on talk about how these guys have trained half of the New Japan roster and many other people who've gone out into the wrestling world to become really big names and really popular and win titles.
Yeah, Harley and Owa.
And they're like, and these guys, they've trained all of these champions, but they themselves have never had titles before. And I'm like, y'all really, boy, I can I solve the puzzle? Winners are TMD. You guessed it. That's how I felt watching this match in the last 10 minutes of the match.
And that's how I felt with Evil and Wolf when we get there.
And I'm just like, well, I guess. And now, as I'm watching this at the time, one of my roommate, Ray Zion, he was also watching it. And he came in and he was talking to him. I was like, really? Zack Sabre Jr.? was like, bro, it has to be that way. And I'm like, why? There's so many other... Because he's got to carry the company. I'm like, And then they're going to give him the tag titles.
No, they're not. They better not. They
Bro,
better
you
not.
cannot sit
Bro,
here
I swear
and look
God.
me into my optic stems.
I swear to God.
And not tell me that they're not going to take these belts off of these boys.
They're not going to, because it's the never open weight, and then there's the actual tag champions. Nah, bro.
Bro, let me put it this way. They was winning before this became a situation. Now that this is a situation, which now I'm thinking back to it, this is a direct callback to when they won the tournament. Because as he's sitting here, icing his nips with the colas, and he's all like, don't worry, guys. I'm going to put belts on you guys. We're going to get some belts. Everyone's going to have belts when we're done with this, I'm telling you. And all this other stuff with his no charisma having ass. The
funny part about it is I played Retromania recently. He has so much charisma in the game. Like, his character is a heel, but he's a pompous heel who actually talks. And, like, you play the game, and I'm like, wow, where is this Zack Sabre Jr.,
Yes,
bro?
where is that Zack Sabre Jr.?
Where is this motherfucker?
That's what I want to know. Like, I would love for him to prove me wrong. And instead of me just hating his presentation, maybe I could just hate his character. But until then,
you just hate his character.
Here we are. As he's about to take all of the gold.
That's not. All right, what's this next match? I think it was it the women's?
So, fun story about this women's match, because yes, it's the IWGP title and the strong women's double championship match.
Yep.
So, because I didn't know this match was on the card.
I didn't know either.
But like, literally. What was it? This was like Thursday or Friday?
I literally gave you. You talking about the video? Yeah. It was Thursday. Yeah.
It was Thursday. We were specifically talking about how was it? Saya.
Saya.
We were literally talking about Saya.
Kimitami.
We was talking about Kimitami, and he brought it up because he was saying the fact that we gotta start watching Stardom. And he sent me this video, which I need to remember to send to Razion, because I told him about it. Because he apparently has been watching this girl as of this year, kind of thing. And the video that he found was a YouTuber who was specifically talking about her rise and her rivalry against her mentor.
Her mentor, yeah.
And the one who taught her and everything. And it's also through that video that really helps solidifies like the way that New Japan tells stories.
Or Japanese wrestling tells stories.
There you go. How Japanese wrestling tells stories. Because if I was to make a comparison of how Japanese wrestling tells stories, imagine think of Kane and Undertaker, and you look at the legacy of matches that they've had against each other, kind of thing. And where, maybe at different points, whatever they was fighting about type thing, take out some of the theatrics, and more so just focus on the wrestling part in the matches. So it's it's like the overarching story kind of thing, but it's told through the matches. So it's like, you could say Undertaker has his match, and then he finds out that he has a brother coming, and his next match is him facing off against his brother. So then you have that match that they had at WrestleMania, and then the next time that they have a match is that Inferno match type situation. Yeah. And then another match, and then later on down you have the match that happens, but then Undertaker gets jumped, and then Kane saves him. Then the Brothers of Destruction are born, and then you have the matches of them being a team. And then Undertaker turns on his brother type situation. And if you look at their matches in that type of... If you look at the Undertaker and Kane rivalry and story, almost like match-based in that kind of format, that is similarly how you could see New Japan tells their stories.
Or Japanese wrestling, yeah.
How Japanese wrestling works.
Yes.
Because... Seeing as how
Saya,
how her story was with her mentor and the way it was presented and how they talked about it. It's like it is through these matches, these different things happening leading up to when she finally and then it's like when she talks about how she turns and the fact that she blames all of this on her mentor about all the things that had happened when she went on her little losing streak and she lost everything, lost her group, and and then now she became this new version of herself, which is
the Phoenix Queen.
The Phoenix Queen, which is her presentation is so chef's kiss.
Yeah, no,
it's such a cool thing to see, and it's such a cool story. But it's also one of those things where to truly get all of it and for it all to make sense, you have to be watching.
You have, and that's what kind of makes it must-see TV at that point.
Correct.
You have to watch
because where with WWE wrestling, you could miss the actual wrestling and just
watch the end of the match.
Yeah, watch the end of the match or watch the vignettes or the post-match stuff or the pre-match stuff kind of thing. Because what happens in the actual ring, especially nowadays, very seldomly has anything... It usually... What happens in the ring ends whatever the story has been up until this point. Most times.
Yeah.
And the worst piece that I feel... with American wrestling versus Japanese wrestling, and American wrestling is getting so far away from this bit, is the fact that American wrestling just likes to ignore continuity of the situations that they've created way too often.
Yeah, they'll be like, oh yeah, this situation happened, and the next week, oh yeah, like that thing that just happened? Yeah, it didn't happen. No, it didn't happen at all. Don't worry about it. But I will agree with seeing that video and then looking up Stardom information. I was like, man, I gotta watch Stardom now. Like I can see why Grizzly FOG, he a big Stardom guy. He big on Stardom. Big on Stardom. So I was like, yo, bro, I even actually reached out to him. I said, yo, how do you watch Stardom? And then, it's pretty much just like New Japan. They have a streaming service, which is New Japan World, and then they have Stardom World. But the thing about Stardom World is Stardom doesn't stream anything live on their website like New Japan does. Literally, Stardom World is their archive. If you want to watch any matches ever happen, and it all has English translation, by the way. You watch it all has English subtitles and stuff like that. So you're never not wondering what are they saying or like what's going on. It's all in English. And then two, they also have a similar system with New Japan about the touring and everything. So, their storytelling, I'm gonna do a deep dive and kind of explain how Stardom works for anybody in the future. Now that I've shown him this video, I understand it a little bit more. So when you get to this match, you now understand Saya, but the opponent, I think she was an MMA artist first, and then she became a wrestler.
Yeah, they mentioned that.
Yeah, if it's the person I think it is, I think she knocked out her opponent and then twerked on her. I think it's the same one. If it's her, I'm like, wow. That is a big transition. But, man, yes. Saya's presentation, man. Oh, the flag coming down to the ring. She is gorgeous.
Oh, listen. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Yes.
So, going into this match, because at first, like, when they did, like, they were showing who was fighting next, I was like, wait. That's her. That's her. I literally just had a crash course on this girl. And then she comes out and she's got the fucking flag and I'm like, I'm melting in my seat, bro. I'm just like one of those it's like if someone like just learned about someone, they're like, oh my God, that might be my favorite wrestler. And also you go to an event and all of a sudden, oh my God,
they're my favorite wrestler.
That's my favorite wrestler. They're actually here. I didn't know this was going to happen.
Yeah.
And now, I would say, unfortunately, she lost. But man, this match, bro, especially since now New Japan is officially pulled up to the table, WWE and AEW got to get their shit together. They
man.
And very specifically, I mean, all around, but like the women in wrestling right now on the America side. Listen, I would be hard pressed if we see better wrestling from any of the females this year that even can look this match in the eye.
Well, again, this is why you can understand Io Sky is the best in Raw, because she came from Stardom. She created Queen's Quest. The faction that she lost, she created Queen's Quest.
That's right. They did say that.
Yep.
And it's one of those things where, looking back at our last video, who did we say had match of the year?
Io Sky.
And even if we didn't specifically say, 2 of the matches that were nominated had her in it. Her versus Rhea versus Bianca Belair. Like, the common denominator right there is Stardom.
I mean, and Asuka's from there, fucking Kairi Sane, all of them. And it makes sense.
It does.
Especially with Asuka.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, and funny enough, this will come up again later. It's like where they're wrestling at right now, they are, just to make an easy comparison, they are Super Saiyan gods who are just fighting as base Super Saiyans.
Are you talking about the Joshi wrestlers, the
yes.
pro wrestlers? Okay.
Yes.
Because if you see when you saw the video and you see, Saya versus her mentor, and there's that one spot she did where she climbed the raptor thing, and then she fell off, and then she apparently hit her elbow, and then now her mentor's like, oh snap, is this my fault? Did I do this? Oh my gosh. And there's like that storytelling and building up and everything, and then there's like the aura those women have, bro. The aura. There was the point where her mentor's trying to shake her hand, and she's like, nah, bro. I need to win before I shake your hand. It's just like they do shit different over there, bro.
They really do. But it's one of those things where, like I said, with this match for the 2 titles, right? In my mind, when I watch this, and then I think about the things that I've seen Io Sky do, and the things that I've seen Asuka and Kairi do, it's like being over in WWE, and you can even throw Shinsuke in there as well. These Japanese wrestlers, they are
chilling.
They are Bing's chilling, bro. Like, they are out here. They are, like I said, they are literally out here Super Saiyan gods fighting at base Super Saiyan. because they have no need to go higher than that. Now, as of right now, out of all of them, I feel Io Sky is the only one right now who cranks it up.
She cranks it at least Super Saiyan 3.
Like, she did at least against Rhea. Yeah. Like I feel the match that her and Rhea had, that is probably the closest. That is probably going to be the closest to Io Shirai.
Okay.
That is probably going to be the closest to Io Shirai WWE is going to get in a while, until they allow her and Rhea to probably lock it up again.
Io actually has one of the most dangerous spots in wrestling.
What's that?
So, you know how when you go to a stadium and you know how they have you can go down the steps and you go to the, like say you got the upper level, section, and you can go up the stairs.
Yeah.
And you know how there's that gap? She did a backflip off the gap. And that gap is huge. And there's a large margin for error. If she fucks this up, she's hitting the stairs. There's no gap like, in AEW where it's the floor. No, it's the stairs, bitch. So if you miss this gap, think of remember the Royal Rumble and how there was that taxi up there? Mm-hmm. Think of that and how if Jeff Hardy did that swanton and he misses, he's hitting stairs.
Yes.
So Io did that. multiple times. Multiple times. And most of the stadiums they went to, she would just do the spot. And people are like, bro, the margin for error is very, very high. And she's like, not even looking back to gauge, just it flips. I'm like, oh, okay.
Fam, EO is wild and
I'm crazy. Is really that?
and considering the fact that like where she came from, girls like this also exist there too. I get it. Like I said,
we haven't even talked about the match yet, bro. We talked about it, but we haven't talked.
But that goes to show how good this match really was.
Yes,
these girls they went at it, bro. And another thing that I was also okay with because it's all about how you do it. As people like to complain about, finisher spam.
Yeah.
There's a way to do it, and you have to sell into it. And these girls did it. These girls, what was it? She has the Star Crusher.
Yeah, which is basically like Falcon Arrow.
Yeah.
Which is such a cool name, knowing Stardom, Star Crusher.
Yeah, listen.
Come on, bro. Come on.
I think, she had to hit her, I'm pretty certain, with 3 Star Crushers.
Yeah.
But it's what other wrestling does not do sometimes, or very much a lot, is the fact of selling the fact that you got hit with the finisher and then selling the fact that you got hit with the finisher again. Okay? And it's people will get hit with, you look at people who get hit with the AA, right?
It's a transitional move.
At this point, the AA really is a transitional move. People get hit with the AA and they get up like they just got regular slammed. Freaking, this girl gets hit with the Star Crusher and she is sluggish and out of it for the rest of the match as it's going on. She is visually digging in deep to find that innerness that is necessary to continue on to perform in this match. And every time, a big move happens and she tries to pin and it's girl still kicks out, she's like, I'm fucking exhausted. I need this bitch to stay down kind of thing. It's what do I gotta hit her with kind of thing. Mm-hmm. We don't, especially this past year, there's not a whole lot of that in Western wrestling right now. Mm-mm. Where it's I miss the times when a match would happen and the winner doesn't get up. They're just still laid out in the ring. They just take the belt and they drape that shit on top of them.
And that's New Japan, Japanese wrestling, because shoot, even with Tanahashi's match after he was done, bro, that man was on the floor.
Yeah, we don't. Those are things that you don't see in wrestling anymore. You will see someone, only because it's freshly in my mind. You'll see someone like John Cena get beaten and he gets choked out. And he gets up, stands up, waves, and walks away like he didn't just have a grueling match with this big bad man kind of thing. And not to just point out John Cena, he was the first one that came to my mind, but that's with any matches that you see right now. You'll see someone go through this grueling match. In AEW, they'll go through a blood-gurgling, cruel, freaking short of actually stabbing someone in the eye or taking a pistol to their head kind of match, and they go through all that, and then at the end of the match they just stand up, bow, and they walk away.
Yeah, no,
that match didn't happen.
The Young Lions, their whole crew has to carry you to the back, bro.
Listen, why are we not doing that in Western wrestling? Because that brings that realism back, makes you believe it more. And maybe it's because of the fact that Western wrestling wants to
transition to the next match, please. Keep it going. Keep it going.
Do away with, I guess, the kayfabe or something. I don't know. But I miss when Shawn Michaels would win a match and you're at what fucking cost?
yo, when Hunter used to drape the belt on him and he'd be
bro, what? That is still, that's wrestling to me. Now, unless you were the one who won and you just fucking smoked this dude,
especially Bad Blood, especially that Bad Blood cage match, bro. HBK couldn't even walk.
Fam, like that. This match, that's what we got. No blood though.
Yeah, no,
which is great and perfectly
we didn't see
fine.
not a lick of blood in this pay-per-view.
No, and the pay-per-view was damn. Well, I won't say flawless, but it was great.
It's definitely a contender. It's definitely a top contender.
I mean,
and I'm looking forward to seeing more New Japan pay-per-views this year.
Listen, they like this match though. Like, I mean, outside of the fact that I ain't gonna lie to you, I'm kind of infatuated. Like, she is fucking. But like, the other girl, which I'm probably gonna butcher the name, which that'll probably be my goal for this year, to get these New Japan wrestlers, these Japanese wrestlers' names correctly. So crucify me if you must, but I think it's a Soryu or Sarai. What was her name? The one who won.
Sarai. I think it's Sarai. I think it's Sarai.
Yeah. Like, I gotta give it to her, especially with like knowing how dangerous the queen is here. Okay.
Yeah, and I thought she was gonna win too.
And not only that, she even cheated too. She had her girls on the outside interfere and all this other stuff. Like, so it's like great heel work.
Yes, that's what hate is all about.
And
hate. You corny. Anyway, great match. Very sad about the finish because I definitely want Saya to win because I'm, just watching that video. And I'm like, man, I want to see how she finishes matches. And then she finished it good, but it was just like, oh man, I kind of wanted you to finish.
I want to see how she finishes matches. Apparently on her back, because
let's go to the next match. If I say something that's out of pocket, bro. Oh boy.
Respectfully.
Very, very respectfully.
Listen,
I would have to actually say that in Japanese, respectfully. I'm gonna have to look that up. What would be respectfully in Japanese?
Please do. Mm-hmm. That's necessary. So then we had this special 10-man tag team match, bro.
Yep.
So going into this match, I thought this was mostly between Dave Finlay and what was his name? And Newman. Because during the tag team tournament, Newland like jumped Dave Finlay and busted him open.
Yeah,
and
they
then
kept having those moments. Yeah, that was.
And then Finlay was all like, Newman made me realize who I am. And after tasting my own blood, I realized I gotta get back to beating the shit out of people and all this other stuff. And I'm like, oh, so they about to have a match with each other, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. I thought they were just having a match with each other, not their whole families coming out having the match.
This was pretty much Bullet Club War Dogs versus United Kingdom.
Got it.
Even though Takahashi, he's technically, he was still technically part of Naito's group, but I think he's unaffiliated right now. I don't think he's part of any group.
Which they kept on talking about the whole unaffiliated situation thing going on. And so, originally, this match, when I was watching it, I watched almost to the end. Now, grant, it's like 3:00 in the morning.
Oh, I was asleep at this point. I fell asleep I fell asleep in the Rambo match.
Let me and just to address this, because as it is known, we're Florida boys, so we're here on the East Coast. This was all taking place. We're watching these matches originally at 2:00, 3:00, 4:00. Let me not kid myself. 3:00 fighting sleep. Mm-hmm. We were sleeping 4:00 and 5:00. Bro. I'm sitting in my chair. Oh,
that's literally how.
Oh shit! Oh man, I missed that match. Well, maybe I should.
That's literally how I felt, especially watching the Okada and Tanahashi match, because I was like, oh man, there's probably certain parts that's not important. Let me just set my phone down and just listen. Actually, I should be watching.
Like literally. By the time I was like, I see like, oh, it's the final match. Well, oh, shit. Let me watch this. And I sit up and I'm like, what time is it? Press the phone. 5 o'clock in the morning, and the match is just starting. I'll watch it when I wake up. I'll just. It's about an hour to get to LJ's house. Sometimes with traffic, I'll watch it as I'm getting ready to go to.
So going back to the 5-man tag, apparently, Dave Finlay is also a fan of Brian from Tekken. I don't know if you noticed the Gallic gun.
Yes.
Yep.
I was trying to figure out where is this gun from, kind of thing, and I couldn't put my finger on like what he was representing, and I don't remember hearing the announcers bring it up
They don't
or
bring
anything.
it up. I just know he's a fan of Brian because he's done a Brian cosplay before.
Ah, okay. Which, honestly,
The Savage King.
it checks.
Yeah.
Like, if someone says like, "Oh yeah, he plays Brian," look at him like, "Yeah, he's a fucking Brian, all right."
I really do miss the connection that New Japan had with Tekken. I really do need them to do that for Tekken 8 already, because I miss having Ace's theme song on Lars and the attire.
That was a thing.
Yeah, Tekken 7. Yeah.
Who else did they have like that they paid homage to? Because I know that it was I know they did Tanahashi.
Okada. He was king.
Oh, that all right.
It's that if you wore his outfit, he would do the Rainmaker finish as his rage art instead of his original rage art. So he would hit you, and then he'll do and then the money will fall, and then he would grab you and do the Rainmaker.
Okay, all right. That because I remember that being a thing, and so I was like, yeah, that's kind of cool. That checks.
Yeah.
But like, so first off, the
mystery person.
This mystery person, okay?
Jake Lee.
Which is funny, because it's like Jake Lee being the mystery person, but they also did not say or bring up the fact that Mr. El Igolo was going to be in this match.
They did it in the promo.
So they did. So yeah. We knew.
So
okay,
if you'd have watched December 24th episode, they showed it there. That he did a whole thing where he's on screen and he's like, "I'm gonna come help United Kingdom, blah, blah, blah," and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that was when we found out that I think it was when you told me WWE said, "Nah, he can wrestle. It's okay."
Okay, got it. Because, yeah, that is actually around the time when that happened. Which I love the fact, like, it's so funny to me because it's like, I almost feel there's like it almost feels like there's a desperation for Andrade. It's like he is so thirsty to get in the ring and show himself off. Because it's like, when he was in WWE, they didn't do shit with him.
Yeah.
And it's like, as soon as the ink on the paper of resignation wasn't even dry, and he shows up at AEW and he fucks himself.
Well, he's also the first wrestler who went from WWE to AEW to back to WWE to back to AEW ever.
Yes, this is true. Which is not entirely his fault because creative has been failing him on both ends. As a matter of fact, when he went back to AEW, I think creative was failing him again, in my personal opinion.
By going against Kenny?
No, by throwing him in the fucking Don Callis family.
Oh, that, yeah.
Like,
When he had his own family last time.
Exactly. He had his own shtick back then. Like, he was the leader of his own group when he was last in AEW. Kind of.
No, he was a leader.
Okay.
But he combined with Matt Hardy.
He just combined with Matt Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like, he had his own group when he was there. And then for him to now come back and he's part of the Don Callis family, a family that already has like 35 niggas in there.
It's the NWO.
And so it's like, okay. But it's like, seeing him here, number one, watching him do his thing in New Japan was like, damn, I forgot how good Andrade really is.
Yes.
Like,
we only saw that in NXT.
Facts. And that's also the reason why I'm like, I feel like Andrade, he's just so I feel like he let his thirst for wrestling and wanting to perform get the best of him and put him in an extremely shitty ass backward situation.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Because Andrade, I feel, legitimately just wants to go out there and show himself off. Because when he was in WWE, once again, a Super Saiyan God fighting as a Super Saiyan. Suppressing his abilities to the max. Because I know that whole suppressing of abilities, that's the reason why I goddamn our Baldy boy with
Moxley or Gabe Kidd?
No. In AEW. I don't know why his name is escaping me. Ricochet.
Ricochet. Yeah.
It's not Eddie Kingston got his hair.
I was thinking.
Yeah. Not Ricochet.
Oh yeah, no, Ricochet in Lucha Underground in New Japan, saying God.
And it's like, I feel in AEW he is more
Super
free.
Saiyan 2.
He is free to do what he wants to, but right now the only reason why he's not doing so is because of story.
Yeah, he's Super Saiyan 2 in
story and mid card. Because now, if we can finally get to a point where we can, if we can figure out how to get Ricochet in the main event with his
MJF,
yeah, or Will Ospreay.
Oh man.
Or Swerve.
Their first match, everybody hated that because it was flippy shit always.
I feel flippy shit's not bad initially. And I feel like their flippy shit that they do together isn't necessarily bad. But it's they have to find the purpose behind the flippy.
I think it's the mentality of going into slugfest matches where you got big men slapping meat and also you got niggas flipping everywhere. It's like, wait, where the fuck is it? When was this ballerina? Where's the fist? And you got acrobats going on. They're gymnasts. They're literally gymnasts. And if you go in the mindset of knowing who the wrestler is, okay, I see Ricochet and I see Will Ospreay going out to the ring. Oh, I know what kind of match this is. I know what it is.
And I do think that there is a bit of that, but I also do know the fact that Will Ospreay being a big pretender of this is the fact of like relying way too hard on the flippy shit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes all of the flippy shit in the finisher spamming, you lose some of the story that's supposed to go into the match. Yes, it is a performance, but even more, yes, there is a story and a narrative that needs to be told within the match, and sometimes that gets lost when you're performing a spot fest.
Hey, yo, I ain't gonna lie, this is a side note because we need to get back to the match. Kyle Fletcher in New Japan?
Yeah. You ain't wrong now. You is not wrong.
Woo!
Listen, I'll take him over a Sabre Jr.
He would
any
be
day.
Amazing Gaijin.
Listen,
oh my god!
Listen, he could take the belt off of a Zack Sabre Jr. Okay,
I feel like if he went against Yoto, I'd be like, look, man, Yuta, look, I'm here for it.
Oh, him and you.
the Gene Blast versus the Protostar?
Listen. Let's get to that. But before, respectfully though, when it came to this match though, with being able to watch it over now, I think that this match, it was solid, but like understanding the story between all the characters and understanding why Jack Lee was such a deal.
Jake Lee, yeah.
Because I'll admit, when they were like, when he came out, I was a little underwhelmed. I'm thinking like some big dude or some crazy, but no, this guy comes out with his like this lost, somber expression on his face, like as if like, oh, you guys forgot about me, but I'm back again. And I was like, not knowing at the time, like, who is this guy? What is he doing? I don't know what's going. Now, once he got to the ring, I'm like, oh, okay, I see what we're doing here. Okay, this straight.
So I had to also explain that with Jake Lee, he was out for a knee injury, which was like a 15-month knee injury apparently.
Damn.
And he was a part of the War Dogs, and he's known as the Smart Bastard. But he's also told his team, do not trust me. I'm in it for the money. I will backstab you, but I'm here right now. You know what I'm saying? I'm here for it. So whenever he was coming out to the ring, you see Dave Finlay, you see Gabe Kidd. The cameras kept panning it to them like, what the how are you supposed to be with us? And so he's just like, you already knew what was up. I don't know why you get mad.
Yeah, that part. That which once he explained to me, it's like, this makes so much more sense of how upset these guys are. But then it's like, but he already told them the prophecy. Mm-hmm. So it's like, when he turned cold, it's all like, I told you this was going to happen. It is what it is. It's a business.
Yeah. And it also had to explain the whole tag system in New Japan, where New Japan wrestlers don't stay on the apron. They don't. They hang outside and let the spot happen. And I believe it's because of camera-wise. If you see all these guys on the apron,
yeah, there's like 10.
How do you focus on the in-ring? And I think, and it is the reason why with the lighting situation, it's fitting to do that, because if you don't look outside, it's dark. You can't see the wrestlers. In WWE, you couldn't do that because the light is always on them.
Yeah, it's always on them. And then also with the way that the light is, you making that comparison to like, Americanized wrestling versus the, the Japanese style. And more specifically in this, when they're in this, like in an actual like stadium type situation, it's like, where in WWE there's a focus on the fans and the signs and all this other stuff. Honestly, I would just say in Western wrestling, there's such a focus on the fans. But in the Tokyo Dome and I would say whenever they have their big stadium shows, from what I've observed, the only thing that you see is the Titantron and the people in the ring.
Yep.
Like, there's no... there might be signs in the crowd, but it's like you don't see them.
You'll see them pan to them every once in a while, yeah.
Yeah, it's like you'll see some signs in the crowd, but at the same time, that's if you can even see the crowd, because it's like with the match that we were watching, it's like I literally actually asked him about like how big is because with the way that they have everything format, the Tokyo Dome looks humongous. Like it's fitting like upwards of crazy amounts, but it only fits
49,000 people.
Like 49,000, which is a lot of people. Don't get
that twisted.
Don't get that twisted. But it's like in my mind when I watch, it's like there's 49,000 people that are in that building, but I did not see a damn soul. As where, WWE, they love to highlight that shit.
You'll
see a big open stadium, and they'll do a crowd pan of the whole bitch. So that's like, hey, yo, look, we want you to see all these people who are here to watch this 10-minute match where they don't do anything, because that's the kind of content WWE's been giving us and shit. As where over here, they're not even flexing how many people are in the ring or in the arena.
Commentary.
You know, yeah, and even with commentary. Now, granted, I did spend a decent amount of this sleeping. I had to go back and watch. But even with commentary, you don't hear them talking about how many people are there.
Rarely. They did mention it, though.
Okay, they did. But even then, it's like they only mentioned it. You know what I'm saying? But they're focused on the product that's going on in the ring, which is great, because that's
why we're here.
That is why we are here. We don't. Cool. It's nice to know that there's a lot of people watching this, because that adds importance to the event, kind of thing. But it's like, you know,
honestly, the Tokyo Dome could have fit more if it wasn't a baseball stadium. Because you got to remember, it's only a U. Because if it was a whole, it would be more.
Oh, yeah, it definitely would have been more.
Yeah, so.
But it's like the aesthetic of it all. And even then, though it's not more, the way that they set everything up made you feel like it was so many people in it.
Yeah, that shit, like, it's huge.
It looked so big.
The stadium is so fucking big for no reason. And that ramp is so, like, that ramp is tiny, bro.
But yeah, no, overall, though, like, when it came to this match, I, because once things started making a bit of sense, and I also went back and actually watched the ending and how everything went down, I am now very interested to see what Lee's about to be about going forward with this betrayal.
I feel like he should be the new leader of the United Kingdom, because they don't have a leader to my knowledge, because Will Ospreay was the leader, but he's gone now. But Jake Lee, to me, he should be the leader.
That's interesting.
I feel like it would be chaotic enough that he'll be an interesting leader.
It's chaotic enough.
Yes.
That's the thought. But yeah, no. Overall, I mean, it was a dope match. It was great seeing. For me, it was great seeing David Finlay do his thing, because he has made me a fan. But seeing Andrade and how good he looks, might need to, you know,
lay off the gas,
pump the brakes on the gas there a bit. But like, hey,
gas.
It's like, because
listen, because our homie be jacked, but still doing like fucking top rope move. You're like, what the fuck, bro? Chill out.
Yeah, like when he did that fucking like corkscrew fucking lie detector out the ring from off the top rope, like. All right.
I was like, Elo, bro, do you care about your body?
All right, Andrade. Yeah, you almost wasn't able to fight for a year, so you've been itching for this fight, huh?
He's like, man, I need to do this so bad, like pump it in my veins.
And the other thing I did want to also bring up was the fact of, I really enjoyed how the commentary kind of sort of like played, how they kind of played off the fact of his whole situation with his contract. Because they were talking about how, you know, because Andrade is always depicted as like he's like this rich man.
Yeah.
He got all this money and everything. He's got so much backing behind him. And they were playing that up about him when he was coming down to the ring, about how, like, you know, he ran the contracts for everyone in this match and stuff like that. And they were saying the fact that, you know,
he runs the contracts. He runs the contracts. He makes sure, like, whatever happens, he's the fronting of the United Kingdom right now. And so for anybody who knows about his situation with him leaving WWE and going AEW and his contract breaching, it was like, I see what you did there.
And they made and the way they kind of talked, about it, like use that as a talking point without really saying it. They were saying something along the lines of the fact that, you know, he's got good, he runs the contracts and he does the funding. That's why he's got, that's why on his end he's got such good people on his team that they was able to get his contract in just in time to be a part of this show. Because he's got good people on his team and I was like, that's how you take the negative spin to the positive. There you go. Please use that. Use that, because it's not like we don't fucking know. So might as well use it for story. Use it as lore, please. So yeah, hell yeah to Andrade. I'm glad he's able to wrestle again. I hope you learn your fucking lesson, bruv. But
okay, I think the next match is the Doki Games.
It is the 4-way IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship.
The Doki Games.
So this match, I originally barely saw and almost did not know existed. After watching it, like, this match was okay.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying. There's some matches like, it's a match.
It wasn't anything crazy. I mean, I'll give them the credit for, it's always like one of those deals where it's like, there wasn't much for this match, but once the match kind of got off and going, it was like, all right, well, I mean, I'm here for the entertainment.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'll watch. It was a very AEW type situation where it was all like, not necessarily like a real build or anything, and even on even more so for me, I'm like, I don't know any of these guys, so I'm more so watching it to become interested in who these people are, and they showed out to a certain degree, I think.
Sho is a very funny comedy wrestler who he's like, he talks big shit, but then there's moments in the match where he's like getting jumped and he's just like pleading for his life.
Yes, that shit was hilarious.
It's just like, bro, he's such a comedy character who he's like Santino Marella, but like if he was a heel. He's a comedy wrestler who he does. If you actually probably heard him in English, he probably would say like certain goofy shit like, "Oh, it's a John Cena," like, just dumb shit like that. So then when he was Dick Toga, which Dick Toga is part of the House of Torture, and apparently he was away at the time, and so Dick Toga will always accompany Evil. So when he was gone, Sho just says, "I am Dick Toga," and we're like, "No, you're not." So then he comes out the next week and says, "I'm Dick Toga too." And he would just cut promos. And I really wish I knew what he was saying. Because I'm like, I know this is comedy gold, bro. I know it's comedy gold. I know it.
Yeah, I think on that particular episode, like, they had a different announcer on there.
It's William. It's the same guy. He just doesn't speak Japanese.
And it was just him by himself.
Yeah.
And so we didn't get the translation like we normally would.
Yeah. Which I need the guy from Britain to be on every episode.
So it's funny bringing that up. Is the fact, because, like, what's the first one's name? What was
William?
his name?
I think it's William.
So I like William as an announcer and doing the play-by-play. He sounds great. The British guy, yay, and I'm glad he could translate, but he's so boring on the microphone, bro.
That's probably why he's not there every week.
Like,
but I feel like as a dynamic duo, they're good.
Now, together, they're great.
Yes.
But it's like, separate, I could take one by himself, but the other one, I'm just like, oh my God, this guy's stick. Like, there was a couple of times where it's like, where it was just him during, like, the tag teams, and I'm just like, boy, this. And then it doesn't get any better because, boy, wrestlers can wrestle, but not all wrestlers can do commentary.
Are you talking about Monster Sauce?
I mean, he is one.
That one, the key has been inserted into the hole.
But, like, Who else? There was another. What was it?
There was Monster Sauce, and then there was what's his name? Lance Archer. He was one, and then Don Fale was one.
So Lance Archer wasn't terrible.
Drilla was one.
Drilla was garbage.
Yeah.
Lance.
God damn. Just Drilla was like you just remembered him.
He was not because he's British, right? He's got like an accent, right?
I think he does. But he used to be in NXT.
There was because one of the guys. There was one time where it was him and the other British guy, and they're sitting there and they're talking. I'm just like, oh my god, shut up, boys! Just watch the fucking damn match, dog. Like, God. But like Lance Archer, he was fine. He knows how to carry himself to a certain degree on commentary. Although it's weird sometimes because like when they're on now, granted, like kayfabe to your character in New Japan is kind of weird. But it's like Lance Archer, I feel like he was trying to be himself, but he was also trying to commentate at the same time, and he was clashing with himself a little bit. Like
Don Fale though, not so
now
much.
Don Fale, number one, he was in character the whole time, but it's like the kind of character that he don't say much, because he doesn't need to.
Yeah.
He's got other people to do all that talking shit for him. He's just supposed to stand there, look like a fucking monster, and smoke his cigar, and wear his cool ass shades. Like that's what he does. And
Japanese
it's like,
Godfather, bro. I'm telling you.
And it's like literally the whole time he's on the commentary, that's what it felt like he was doing.
Just like, man, I'm just here, bro. What the fuck you
want? 100%. But like. Going back into
the commentary or the match
the match type thing, it's like for me, like it was a good introduction to a couple of these guys, and I think the other bit about that, it made me think about the video that we posted about how the fact that like this pay-per-view for New Japan, they had to make sure that they went all in, no pun intended, on their matches and what they were going to do, because the world was watching this. And from watching this, people who never watched New Japan are watching this. People who are coming back to watching it are watching this. And so it's like, if y'all don't show out tonight, then y'all are going to need AEW for the rest of your lives. And that's good for nobody, because AEW needs somebody for them right now. And so I think this match was almost like the epitome of that. Like, I don't know who these guys are, but I fucking like this. Like, that's
I watch more of this.
That's where I was at. So.
El Desperado won, which he's been junior heavyweight champion before, so it was like pretty like, okay, we're getting back to that program again. But match was pretty decent. Not too much for me. He pretty much said everything I need to say. It's like I'm familiar with El Desperado. I'm familiar with the show. I'm familiar with a lot of the people in that match. So, nothing too crazy.
So now the next one,
which is Evil versus Wolf.
Yes, sir.
Aaron Wolf.
This match was great.
Absolutely. I said, to me, match of the night. Until I saw the heavyweight title match. Then that's close contender. Okay. Those two are battling with each other hard.
All right. So, agreed. Yeah. I can agree on that one. This match was because they did a vignette, because once again, thank God they did this, because I was like, I don't know what's going on.
And I had to translate the vignette for him, yeah.
Because like when I was trying to watch this when it was happening and I was half asleep, there was a point where I woke up and I was like, wait, I didn't know a young lion was fighting somebody tonight. And then the next thing I remembered, like, it was like, blink eyes, wake up again, and I just see because every time they do the evil, it's like the camera's all like, and then it zooms in on them. So it's always like I woke up as the camera is shaking. I'm like, what? And I just see Evil holding the title. I'm like, oh, it's my boy. And I missed a good match because after watching it back over,
I woke up at this match. And I woke up happy because I was like, all right, man, let's see what this match is. So the stipulation for the match was Evil is defending his never open weight title against Aaron Wolf. Now, Aaron Wolf, for what Evil wanted, he says, hey, if I'm going to lose something, you got to lose something too. If you lose the match, I have to shave your head and I get to shave your beard, and you can never wear a judo gi again. Which for Aaron Wolf is a judo Olympian winner. He's a gold medal winner for judo. And so he's also been a fan of New Japan, and he's respected New Japan for representing Japan in being the best of wrestling in Japan. And he's obviously represent Japan in the Olympics being the best. So he was like, 2-2, I now want to, transition into wrestling. And a big thing that wrestling promotions love to do is, let's take a gold medalist and make him a wrestler. They've tried it so many times, and only 2 people made it work in America, and that's Mark Henry and Kurt Angle. All right?
Now, I will say that there's a black girl that's in NXT. She about to be the next good one.
Okay.
I can't think of her name right now, but like she good with it. She real nice with it.
Okay. But those are the only 2 Olympians that I'm aware of that are in wrestling that are great. There's probably other ones, but those are the 2 that stand the fuck out.
I think the better term would be to say gold medalists.
Okay. But did Mark Henry win a gold medal?
Actually, not just did he.
I just remember he was an Olympian.
I think. Oh, you know what? I think he was an Olympian, but he won other things outside of the Olympics.
World's strongest man. Yeah.
He was legitimately the world's strongest man.
Which that story always is crazy when you hear it, and Vince saying, "Hey, I don't have the second world's strongest man. So either you go there and you do it, or don't come back." And I was like, "Damn."
What I really like about that is when I watch stuff that's completely not wrestling related, and they're talking about Mark Henry being the world's strongest man.
Yeah.
Because usually it's always in a wrestling atmosphere where I'm watching and seeing. But it's like every once in a while, I'll see someone scrolling, and they'll talk about like the 1-inch freaking dumbbell that people can barely lift, and they're all like, "Yeah, well, it's like, yeah, this was made by so and so, and for a long time that guy was the only one who could lift it." Until Mark Henry came along, and they started talking about Mark Henry. I'm like, yeah, respect that.
Yeah,
nigga,
respect that nigga.
Respect that nigga.
He's from my realm, bro. But to go back into this match, so that was the stipulation. And Evil, when you see Evil, you immediately think of Japanese Undertaker, because that's what I think when I see him. But like, take as Swag said, take Ministry Undertaker and made him a shit-grinning evil villain. But like, even though he's technically evil when he was in the Ministry, but he was doing like cult-like stuff. This is a version of Undertaker where he just does not give a fuck. He will do everything to win. He will cheat. He will lie. He will do anything to win. And that is Evil. And, I really wish his presentation was more devastating to me. Like more of a heel that if you lose to him, it means a lot more because he doesn't lose. But Evil has lost a couple of matches as you're watching in the tag league and stuff like that. So it's like he has a presentation to him to being a top tier talent, but in the vortex of we just chilling.
Yeah, Evil is a villain's villain.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He's a Disney villain almost.
That's a good way. Yeah. That's a good way to put it. He is very much so a Disney villain as opposed of a evil movie villain. You know what I'm saying? With a sinister plot kind of thing. It's like, now he has that. He looks like the way he looks and the way he presents himself. He could do that. Yeah. Like, if he wanted to flip the switch and go from, to truly a ministry, leader of the Ministry of Darkness,
it could happen.
He could do that.
It would be believable.
As well as say, he got that dog in him, but the dog is asleep.
The dog is chilling. Same thing for Sonata. There's a lot of people in that group who were former heavyweight champions, but they just chilling. Sonata used to be a New Japan heavyweight champion, and then now he's a fashion icon. What the fuck happened? So like,
with these yellow freaking Astro Boy Crocs on,
yo,
bro.
that shit was crazy. But this match for me, man, Aaron Wolf comes out. He comes out in his gi, and once I knew the stipulation, this is what I was talking about before. When I knew the stipulation of, okay, Evil could lose his title, but this man could lose his hair and his gi. Yeah, no, you're not gonna disrespect an Olympian like that. Evil's losing the fucking match. Man, come on, man. You destroyed it for me now. Because I knew what was the outcome just from you telling me the stipulation. There's no way Evil's winning this. So, as Aaron comes out to the ring, he already shaves his fucking head, and he takes off his gi. So it's like, nigga, he's already...
Yeah, I was like, wait a second. So if those were stipulations, well, he took the stipulations away from him now. Because he literally came out there with the gi on, but it's like, clean shave. Well, his head is buzz cut now, and his beard is nicely trimmed, buzz cut trim. I'm not sure what you call that, but it's like, and then it's like he literally takes the gi off, and he out there looking like a young lion on his debut match.
And that actually was very dope to me. Because normally, most times, celebrities in WWE standpoint or anywhere else, they come in, they got their flair. But anybody who's a young lion who's training in the dojo, you're supposed to be wearing black tights and everything else. And when he did that, I was like, I like that.
Yeah, that was a nice presentation. But the overall match, and I think honestly, this was my first time watching Evil have a one-on-one match with anybody, and. Listen, he's absolutely a trip, and to that point of like the kind of like literally he threw everything at this dude, including the kitchen sink.
The table, bro, table spot.
Fam, that table was the stiffest, most painful looking table spot I have. Like, that table
Aaron
was
sold that shit. Like everything that was happening. He was selling like he'd been in the ring for years.
Bro, listen.
I was like, bro, you are selling good.
It was a slam of a match. Like I have to give it to Aaron Wolf. He earned that belt.
Yeah, the submission lock he put him in, it looked like he had him in a waist lock with like a triangle hold, and it was like, oh, Evil's dying.
Listen, and I was saying the fact that when he locked that submission in, like, I have to give it to Evil because Evil sold that move. Like, after he got done, Evil was sitting there. I'm talking, he was like laid out. He was laid out. His eyes was rolled in the back of his head.
Yep.
Like, eyes rolled in the back of his head. He was like, gone. At the end of that match. It's like just how he was laying. He was lifeless. I was like, now see, that's how you sell a finish. That's how you fucking sell a match. He gave him his best, and he choked his ass out, and now you're out. And it took his boys to come out there and like, hey, wake him up, wake up, and his boys literally had to drag him out of the arena because of how he was beaten. It's like, man, I really wish we could start doing this back over in the Western wrestling because. Niggas.
I feel like by the end of 2026, Swag is gonna be like, man, I like Western wrestling for the nostalgic, but this New Japan shit might start hitting for this motherfucker.
If things keep up like how this is right now, it very much might, and it's more so just there are certain small nuances that go on in a ring and in a match that Western wrestling is like shying away from. And as someone who has trained to be a wrestler before and still trying, it's like those things that Western wrestling is going away from are literally the things that when you go to a hole-in-the-wall school, that's in a garage, like, in an industrial area, and they really trying to grind you and cut your teeth and really get you to figure out and learn the way that this business should be going. and how to actually wrestle and move a crowd and entertain them and keep them in the palm of your hand without even throwing one punch. Like when you get that kind of training and you see what people are doing, it's like, why are we working so fucking hard? Why are y'all working so hard when you can go 5 minutes into a match and not even touch each other one time and have the crowd eating out the palm of your hand? It can be done. Instead, they're relying on these spots and the flippy shit and all this other stuff. Gore and blood and plunder and weapons, when literally, if you put things together the right way, I can stand face up with somebody and the crowd can go crazy for 2 minutes straight off of me just going face to face with somebody and the anticipation of what's about to happen. But a lot of that is gone. A lot of that is gone. But New Japan, from what I've come to see, at least they still remember. Certain things change, yeah, sure. But there are still elements that they still remember that are exactly like that. Hell, they do them mid-match. Like, everything's going to match, and they have that double down moment, and then all of a sudden it's like they get back up, and they're face-to-face with each other, and they're, their fucking forehead to forehead, and all this other stuff.
That was definitely happening in the Yuta and Takeshita match, which is the next match, by the way.
Yeah, and so it's like, and honestly, and we can go ahead and get into that match, because as we're homie, because number one, the Evil match was kind of like that, the big experienced guy is trying to embarrass and put down this new blood.
Yeah.
And then
gets his ass handed to him.
Gets his ass handed and his egg on his face, and he legitimately gets submissioned, and he is laid out, eyes glazed over. Which to me that was such an important touch to that match in my eyes, because it really sold the fact that he fucking lost. Like, he lost, and then his boys had to roll him out the ring, and two of them are like, all right, well, fuck, I guess that's it type situation. And so it was like, I thought that was great. And then we get into the other competitor for the best match of the night. Goddamn Takeshita and what's his name?
Suji.
Suji. Takeshita and Suji. So they showed a vignette and they kind of talked about the little story between them. And it's the fact that Suji is like, he wants to bring New Japan back to the way that it used to be, and having this prestige to the title and everything and all this stuff like that. And Takeshita is all like, bro, quit being an old head. You know what I'm saying? Like,
quit living in the past. Create a new era.
Like this the now. Like, or make the now better type situation. Now, in my mind, because I know, didn't he just get this belt?
He got it from Goto months ago, because Goto again was going away so that way he can be Honda for Street Fighter, and that's why he lost the belt. So he's been the champion for maybe 2-3 months, but this was his second defense, by the way. He won it, and I think he defended it one time, and then after that, this was the second defense.
Okay. Because at first, to me, I was feeling like, why did they make Takeshita such a transitional champion? In my mind, he still kind of is.
They needed somebody. It's weird that, Suji even said, hey, he doesn't like the partnership with AEW, but who else in the New Japan roster would have gave you this match with the star power you needed? There was nobody else in that roster that I can think of that could have held that belt and made you say, I need to watch Suji win this, because he's going to be the new person that leads New Japan, besides Takeshita.
I agree. And it helps because it's one of those things, literally going back to that video, is the fact that it's like, he's complaining about the fact that, we don't need them and we should be able to push this on our own, when at the same time, I'm pretty certain he understands the fact that there's nobody here to make us better So we have to get somebody over there to come over here to help boost it. And for all intents and purposes, Takeshita filled that role, I think, pretty well.
He is the alpha, bro.
And like I said, my opinions of Takeshita, and I'll make sure and I'll openly admit this, my opinions of Takeshita solely come from what I've seen of him in AEW. And some would say that his presentation in AEW has been meh. However, if you consider what he has done in AEW meh, if you're comparing it to what he used to be, sure. But as someone, never seeing what he did before, I mean, until now, not seeing what he did before and seeing what he is doing right now, I mean, his meh is another one's goddamn, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Takeshita, honestly, the only thing that's holding him back is booking in AEW.
I mean, he would be so much better in New Japan, personally.
Agreed.
It's what I'm noticing is that a lot of the foreigners coming from New Japan or any of these promotions in Japan are literally at Super Saiyan God level. And then they'll come to America. Even the Bulldog, by the way. Even the Bulldog in Japan. Did you not see how that motherfucker is like, I will fuck everybody up here.
Listen,
But in America, in the conglomeration,
bro,
he look like an old nigga.
He bings chillins out here, bro.
Yeah.
Like
That's his 36. He's been to, I forgot how many Wrestle Kingdoms he's been to. He's been almost to every one, by the way.
Yeah, when they gave that style, like, that's crazy.
And I'm like, nigga.
That's crazy.
36 years in the business.
I mean, that's hella dope.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And my man, Bulldog, I'm still doing this, bro. Ain't nobody stopping it.
Like it's nothing.
Like, he still got that dog in him. Literally.
He never, and I don't think he'll ever lose it.
It's Stone Bulldog for a reason. But back to this match. I mean, at first I was really confused on what does Gene Blast mean. I kept seeing that in his Titantron. I'm like, what the fuck for Suji, I'm like, what the fuck is a Gene Blast? And it finally took commentary to tell us Gene Blast basically stands for almost pretty much being an alpha, being, genetically capable of doing these things as an athlete. So when I'm hitting you with the Gene Blast, I'm hitting you with every fiber of my being and giving you all of my momentum, giving you all I have into this move. It is literally a Gene Blast. And I was like,
Listen, Japanese wrestling is so goated with anime, bro. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Like, if Japanese wrestling is an anime, then yes, Western wrestling is a soap opera.
My nigga. Oh my
it
God.
is. It's so prominent.
I'm sorry, that's just almost like Asian media in general. Because me and my wife have been watching Culinary Class Wars.
Culinary Class Wars.
Nigga, that is an anime. I swear to God, it is a live action anime. I swear to God. Bro, they're like showcasing each other on like anime levels. There's literally a guy whose eyes, he's that anime character.
Oh,
he's
God.
Literally that anime character.
Wow.
His eyes do not open, my nigga.
That's crazy.
And he wears headphones while he cooks, so he's just like, he does his thing, and this is when he's in interviews, just like, and then he's only ever done this like 3 times, and I'm like, bro, this is fucking anime. This is literally, I'm telling you, if you got a chance, watch Culinary Class Wars. It's fucking anime. I swear to God. I actually almost want to make a video about it because there's so many moments of like, this is anime. This is anime. I'm sorry, but yes, get back to this match. Yes, Japanese wrestling is literally anime. Literally. The way they come out to the ring, the way they're, oh my God, their interests. I mean, talking about Saya's interest alone is anime.
Yes.
Literally.
Yes.
But the Gene Blast versus the Alpha, it's literally 2 alphas going against each other. And, I didn't notice the psychology of this match until we finally got to the ending of the match. If you didn't notice, it literally, what Suji was, all he was trying to do was hit him with the Gene Blast. As if he was setting his body up. Because notice he never Takeshita kept hitting him with elbows. He kept hitting him with body blocks. Body blows, body blows. He kept trying to do an overhand punch, body blow, body blow.
Yeah, there was that one time Takeshita came in there, blah, and fucking lifted Takeshita.
Yes.
Hit that freaking lift up off the ground and landed face first. Like, God, damn.
The wrestling psychology of him, he's lowering he's making the body red. So whenever he hits him with the Gene Blast, it was over. Because every attempt he tried to do with the Gene Blast, it got blocked, it got blocked, it got blocked, it got kneed. It was like there were so many attempts, but literally as that point in the match where you get to where, by the way, as the alpha is, his psychology, he's very slow with his wrestling. And like he'll do a move and he'll be like, all right, next move.
Yeah, Takeshita has that. And I think that's also one of the things that I've picked up on in my journey of really enjoying Takeshita's work. He's got that, even though he's not a slow and methodical like individual, but when he does things and he moves in the ring, he's very calculated and he's really smooth with it, kind of thing, and very precise.
It's almost like he has a strategy every match. Like, this is what I'm going to attack, this is what I'm going to do, but I'm going to also just be me at the same time. So as you kind of get to a boiling point where you get to the end of the match where this is the spot, and I told you, I was like, I like this spot because Takeshita has his own knee attack, and then the Gene Blast is a spear. So now you have the two hitting the turnbuckle and saying, all right, he said, Ikaze, which means let's go. So Ikaze, they get to the turnbuckle, he does his taunt, he's in sprint mode, and you're like, who is going to hit who? Because it's literally a Western, like, gunfight situation. And then he hits him with the Gene Blast. And nigga, Roman Reigns. I mean, Braun Breaker, that was almost a Braun Breaker spear.
So, we've had the discussion about spears in the past.
Yes.
And
he has to be in the contender now.
Now, I have only seen one Gene Blast in my life.
I've seen a couple of them. They're pretty good.
And so, because like I said, I'm watching this cold turkey without looking at their past stuff right now. But I have to say, the way that he made Takeshita's body go from flatbread to taco, like, bro, he literally hit that, like, with that spear. That spear
almost Here Comes the Pain Goldberg-esque.
That spear was that spear was devastating as fuck, bro. And so I'm like, if he hits it like that every single time, if he folds niggas like this on a regular basis with the spear on every shot, hey, listen, I guess he can be a contender. Because even Braun Breaker don't perfectly fold people like he do.
Nah.
Now, I will say, I think Braun Breaker has been experimenting and trying to figure out
what's the best spear,
what should be his spear. Because before when he was spearing people, it was very edge-like, and then it kind of got into like very much like the Roman Reigns-esque spear, which to me personally, Roman Reigns' spear is the most basic of spears that you can do. And then, ever since he hit Carlito with that running lunge spear, that javelin, like ever since he did that, he was all like, wait a second. Now, how do I do this all the time? And it's like, ever since he did that javelin spear, he's been hitting and missing. Sometimes he can get the javelin in. Sometimes he just does a football spear or a football tackle for all intents and purposes.
Like he did the speed.
Where you get him right here, you kind of lift him up and you lay him and you drop him to the ground. As opposed of freaking the javelin, you lunge forward, you freaking make them taco and fucking they drop.
I think a part of it is because the opponent needs to also move forward to give it the momentum of two opposites colliding. Because if one doesn't collide, it's all force,
it's all pushing
and then push.
Yeah.
So the opponent needs to also be coming at the same speed, which is why the Gene Blast in this match made so much like,
Yes, and that is probably an important piece. But like, as far as the first display, I'm like, all right, I guess he can do the spear. It's cool.
And then the Boston Crab, which I was surprised that he ends the match with a Boston Crab.
Bro, Boston Crabs was everywhere.
Apparently, Boston Crab is a deadly finish,
bro,
in New Japan. You would think that was fucking.
Bro, listen, what? How many Boston Crab finishes did we see in the tag team? There was at least 2 or 3 of them.
There was like 4 or 5 almost. Like, it was definitely always on the Young Lions though. I was like, y'all lower backs got to be shit.
Lion Tamer. Of course. You know, Chris Jericho actually did that, but he elevated. You know, he put the knee in it.
So yeah, it was something he did in New Japan.
There you go.
Damn.
How else are you gonna beat a young lion? You tame it.
You know what? You know what? It all see. Japanese wrestling, bro. God damn. All right. So that match was great. And then, man, we get to the main event. Okada versus Takeshita. And, man, as I went into this match, bro, I already knew Okada, bro. Okada is already goated. 100%. But in a New Japan arena and his music hits.
I ain't gonna lie, fam. Like that. It's crazy. Because I don't feel that in AEW.
You only get it because he has that red light on him and he does the pose. It looks dope.
But it's not so much just the entrance. It's just the aura that he has in New Japan, comparably speaking, feels like you didn't pay the bills in AEW. The light and the aura and shine that Okada has, or at least I should specifically in this match, when he came out there, it's like, damn, Okada feels like a fucking superstar here.
Because he was. And so when he went to AEW, it made no sense. He is literally a made man in New Japan. Why would you leave? Why? And that's why it never made sense to me.
The answer is, you know that noise that you hear in the beginning of his theme song?
The coin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why he's in AEW.
Currency. Which I also thought the song was Currency. It's Curiosity. And which I was like, that makes sense if it was Currency. But it's not.
Listen, in my humble opinions, based off of nothing but from what I've just watched and hearsay, Okada left New Japan because they could not afford.
Well, no, in reality, he left because he was like, there's nothing else for him to do there.
He's
been their heavyweight champion. He's had some of the most devastating matches, the best matches ever. And it was like, I mean, I could win the title again, but at that point, I don't want people to get stale. You know, there's nothing else for me here. I've done everything. Let me go over here and see what I can do. And that's literally what happened.
What the fuck is he doing?
He's Continental champion. Well, he was.
Bitch.
Wait. Didn't he lose the belt?
Bro, we're not talking about AEW shit right now.
Because he had the belt when he was there.
Bro, we're not talking about
I just realized
that. Bro, that is a next week's podcast episode.
Oh my God, bro. Okay.
Listen, that is a next week's episode podcast
I'm going to need to check on that because he did come out with a belt. I need to see what's up with
listen.
that.
Afterwards, I'll briefly explain to you the stupidity of AEW right now with the Continental Classic and da-da-da-da. No. Once again.
Okay. Let's get to the match.
We will address that.
Yeah.
We got time.
So being that this is the Aces' last match, man, the environment definitely felt different compared to John Cena, which, by the way, John Cena, I want you to watch this match and realize this is a retirement. This is what retiring looks like, okay? If you're going to go out on your back, you don't do that, okay? You go out like fucking Takeshita did. And he went out like a fucking G, okay? He gave it everything, bro. He even had one homage callback to Shinsuke Nakamura because, WWE's a bitch.
Not Takeshita, you said Takeshita.
Takashi, excuse me. Tanahashi. he gives a callback to Shinsuke Nakamura, which is one of his greatest rivals, by the way. Which, to be honest, that match against him and Tanahashi would have made more sense. But with Okada, the whole stipulation is like, hey, I started going against you. It might as well end with me going against you. And I hope you enjoy your retirement, because I'm retiring you. I just want you to know that. That is literally how Okada went into this match. It's, I know you must be tired.
Which I love that's how he ended the match. He's all like, at the end, when he does eventually pin him, Okada ends up winning. He grits the microphone, he looks, and he's all like, you look tired. And he says, thank you. And he bows.
And gets out, yeah.
And he leaves. And to me, which is kind of funny, because once again, the in-ring story, that felt like that was the story that we had going into it. And when you look at what Tanahashi has done from the time that he said, like, hey, this is my last run, homie's been going at the speed of a bullet.
100%.
Like, the few times that he showed up in AEW, and then me watching him through, like, the tag team tournament, and he was out there laying it out like as if those were going to be his last matches. He put all of his shit into these matches. And then by the time we get to this match, the way the match was fought for me, like the way I perceived it, it was almost as if, like, he's been running so hard that once he's gotten to this match, he was tired.
Mm-hmm.
He still left everything he had in that ring and literally, used the last bit of energy that he had. And funny enough, in that comparison to an anime, it's like when you watch like that, the one of the main good guys, and you're like, damn, he's not going to win against this bad guy, but he's going to hurt this bad guy enough so when the next person comes through, who's supposed to be the new kid on the block, that's supposed to take this bad guy down after the master is finally done.
So like a Piccolo. Because Piccolo will, like, wear down most villains, so that way Goku can come up. He'd be like, all right, man, you take it from here.
To a certain degree, kind of like that type situation. As far as, like, just kind of sort of way it was, like, presented. Because it's like, he's out there. And for most of the match, Okada had his number. Like, Okada was beating his ass. But he had his comeback moments. And then he had his, like, big shining moments where you really thought, like, oh, he's really about to put him down. But it's like, once he, like, gets to that point, like, what they call it? The
Bomboyani?
No. It was
a high five flow?
No. Before that, because when he hit him with his own version of the Rainmaker,
oh.
but they called it something else.
The shine. I can't remember.
Because it made me laugh because where Okada has the Rainmaker, it's like Tanahashi.
He's all about the sun.
They called
Maker?
it. I think that's what they called it. Yes, that's exactly what they called it. Because he hit us like. Where it's like, because he missed doing the Rainmaker, and then he turns around and hit him with the Ace Maker. I was like, that's funny. I wish we did that more with finishers. Mm-hmm. Instead of calling the Rock Bomb, that's a horrible example. Yeah. Because it doesn't sound as cool.
It'd be the Stone Bottom, the Stone Cold Bottom.
but in that particular facet. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, people's elbow up, the rattlesnake's bite hits the elbow drop.
Yeah. The snake. Oh wow, the rattlesnake bite. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
But I just thought that was a really cool touch. But it was the fact he hits him with that, and then he gets up and then he hits that frog the
high five flow.
He hits the high five flow on him and everything, and then like when he kicks out, he's all like, I gotta do a little bit more. But the problem was when he's trying to get that extra bit in, he's tired. He can't get up there as fast as he did the previous time. And fam, when he attempted to hit that high five flow.
Oh yeah, when he put the
knees up, bro, I'm driving and I see that,
You was like, damn, bro. All that stomach.
I felt that from Japan to Florida, my God.
All that stomach, bro.
Like
rib cage. That was almost like some skate shit when you go ragdoll.
bro. And then I'm like, wait, when that happened, I'm like, oh damn, here it is. He hit that freak, that last
Rainmaker. Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, he ain't getting back up after that. And it was
and he did not get back up.
But like, I really enjoyed the story of that match, because it's one of those things where I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, nah, I know Okada's not losing. You know what I'm saying? But the way that Okada won, and the way that match took place and how everything culminated, it was like, this was really good. This was a good retirement match. And it's hard to say that because there's not a whole lot of good retirement matches that exist.
Besides Sting.
And even then, like, yes, I would say the match was good. I will give it that. But like, when I look at Sting's retirement, I look at his retirement as a whole, not so much the match. You know what I'm saying? Like, another comparison is like when Ric Flair, his original retirement.
That was a good send off.
Like, going into it, he was having some really great matches. And every match that he had, he's like, listen, if I don't win this match, I'm done. So literally every match was a retirement match leading up to his match against Shawn Michaels. And of course, you know, Shawn Michaels didn't want to do it. It's like Ric Flair's like, nah, fight me, bitch. And so
not you pulling Okada, bitch,
bitch. But like, you know, so it's like his little bit going into the match, and then the match itself, it was great. And his last little run, it was nice and it was memorable. It was cool and all. And I feel going with this one right here, this run, flawless. Almost
Takeshita,
flawless.
Yeah, Takeshita. You talking about Takeshita or you talking about?
No, Tanahashi.
Oh, yeah.
You got Takeshita on the mind.
I don't know,
okay.
yeah, because that match was good. Tanahashi, yeah, no, this run was good. I mean, from the tag league and him running, every match, and he would go out to the crowd every time, wipe his sweat on their towels, do everything. Like, Tanahashi.
Which I think that's like such an interesting thing. It's like, they're like, he's high five.
Yeah, like the ladies want his sweat.
That's crazy. But I also get it.
Yeah, you know.
That's it. Hey, people do things different in different places.
Some shorties want some dudes bathwater. These shorties want their sweat. You know?
When you can make that comparison, it's actually not that weird anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, it still is, but like, you can't do worse than bathwater.
Yeah, no, absolutely, that's gross. But yes, so as Tanahashi loses, you know, he lays in the ring, and you're just like, you're settling with yourself with the, damn, it's over. And, you know, he sits there, he lays there, he has a moment with himself, and he finally starts getting up, and you see the locker room starts to come down to the ring, and, you know, paying homage to him, and then we start getting wrestlers coming out to pay respect. We got Jay White, we had Omega, we had Will Ospreay, which I was like, all right.
And what's the guy who was with Omega?
Kota Ibushi.
Listen, shout out to Kota Ibushi.
That nigga has a broken femur, bro.
Out here hobbling to the ring, which I was like, that's dedication. That's respect. Nigga. Out here, and he made the walk without help. He walked all the way down that steep ass ramp. It got into the ring,
and it dips too.
Yes, I was watching. Let me put it this way: watching them come down to the ring, and then watching them turn, I was like, "Oh, that's a tricky ramp."
I thought it was a straight ramp. It's not.
No, it's absolutely not.
Nope.
It's like kind of straight, then it evens out a bit, and then fucking.
Yep. And so when he was going on that last bit of.
I'm watching intently, like, don't hurt yourself, don't hurt yourself.
And he went up.
Just grab his hand. Just grab his hand.
Went up the steps too with no help. Got in the ring, no help. I'm like, bro, I was like, crazy, man.
All right. Listen, built different is what they are.
Bro. Japanese boys, I'm telling you, man.
But I think out of all the guys that came out, I think my favorite one and
Kobashi.
Yes.
Kobashi, yeah.
When he came out, and then that one got me emotional.
That got me. I actually cried. I low-key cried. I'm in the bed and I'm watching it, and he was like, "Oh man, fuck this shit. Take my shirt off, yo. Hey, yo, slap me. Lock up. Lock up one last time."
When they slapped, when he took the shirt off, I was like, "What's happening?" And it's funny because at first the music played everything paused for a moment, and then they go into it, and then after they lock up and he gave him that hug, the emotion, fam, that emotion was so tight. I was all like, "Ooh, man, I
was like, man, fuck. I'm not even friends with him.
I'm over here. I'm like, I only just met this guy and I'm feeling it.
Yeah,
I already feel his presence being missed.
Because there's something. It's not even. It's the fact that he's not gonna wrestle again, and he's had these matches with these people, and then to be like with Kobashi will never wrestle like he used to. He will never wrestle like he used to again. And now that he's in AEW, he's not had the chance to wrestle, Tanahashi because he's been in AEW. And so this is the last time I'm going to be able to lock up with you in front of people in the Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
I got to get this moment. I need to lock up with you real quick.
Yeah, that was very powerful emotion because it was like, number one, his reaction when his music played. When Tanahashi's reaction, he almost completely broke down. Mm-hmm. I saw it. I was like, oh man, because these guys are boys. They've been to war.
They're actually one of the three pillars.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was Kobashi, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Tanahashi. They were the three pillars.
And so it was like seeing that. I was like, seeing that off rip, I'm like, oh, the history is deep here. And just their reaction, their embrace, I was like, oh yeah, we're definitely about to go on to something new here.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I wish I felt more of that in John Cena's. Man, I tell you, dog, it's baffling to me. It's like the fact that we have to look at John Cena's retirement. The fact that we gotta look at John Cena's retirement. And all we can do is look at it and criticize how good or how bad or how lackluster it was. And then here we turn around and look at this man's retirement. And we're not talking about how good or bad it was. We're just talking about how it made us feel. There's a problem.
Yes.
There's a whole ass problem with the system. And they freaked it.
Yeah, and that's why when somebody said, John Cena needs to go call up Bryan Danielson and go over there to Tony Khan and do that shit right away. It's like, damn, bro.
Hey,
run it back. Pull a Ric Flair in TNA.
That's how you ruin your. That's how you ruin. That's the point when you.
Well, I don't know. We got the Ric Flair and Jay Lethal moment, and that was a good moment.
Sure, but was it worth the Hulk Hogan bullshit?
No, but we didn't talk about Hulk Hogan bullshit. We talk about Ric Flair.
But see, that's the thing. When you talk about Ric Flair and TNA, you gotta talk about the whole thing.
We got that Ric Flair versus Mick Foley match where he never respected Mick Foley, but then he had that hardcore match with him. He's like, oh no, I respect him now.
Listen, that TNA Ric Flair's TNA run was not terrible. Not by a long shot. It's just that it didn't make sense, and it completely ruined his original retiring moment. Yeah. However, at the same time, you can't get too mad at him because, divorces mean you got bills to pay and an ex-wife to feed. So,
which is why you signed a prenup. But anyway, but overall, this was a very good pay-per-view. And as New Japan was showing, I think it was the end or at the middle of the pay-per-view, they were showing all their future pay-per-views. I'm excited for the G1 now. I know that shit about to slap.
this as someone who is just taking their first steps in New Japan, this pay-per-view was a refreshing start to the year. Because I'll be honest with you, going into this year without New Japan, that bit that you started to bring up, and I said we'll talk about that next week. Yeah, bro. There's a reason why I didn't watch any wrestling this week outside of New Japan. There's a reason. Because Lord knows we're on that Sting New Year, New Me. Take off the mask, still got the face paint on. That's what wrestling looks like they're trying to do. But, hey, the year is young. We're just taking our steps into it. At least New Japan out here with some with a new mindset of trying to move things forward. So I guess we're going to see what the year has to hold for us.
The New Year Dash is tonight, and that's pretty much the equivalent of the Raw after Mania. So there's some big shit that's supposed to happen on New Year Dash.
Oh, great. So we have even more things, even more wrestling to look forward to in that. So we'll see how things stack up for next week.
I'll be watching it during the day. I'm not going to watch it during the night.
Oh, God, no. Listen, I'm going to attempt to stream tonight because I ain't going to lie. I still feel that New Japan hangover from last night, bro.
Take one of my sparkling ices with you, bro. I'll try to tell you. My girlfriends are going to come over in a little bit, and I'm like, I'm going to have to drink one of the sparkling ice, man. They want to hang out and chill. I'm going to be like,
all right, just don't be mad if I...
Yup, I got to drink one of them, bro.
Just throw a blanket on me.
Shit. But overall, final thoughts. You feel like the show was good, correct?
Oh, show was great. Okay. Easily a B+, high B. Freaking almost an A.
I feel like if you went in knowing a lot of the wrestlers and a lot of the stuff, it probably would have been A for you.
I would agree. There were if I would have understood some of the extra nuances, because like knowing the wrestlers would help, but just understanding some of the other nuances about New Japan that I'm also still slowly learning, it probably would have tipped it more into the A. But because of
not knowing disqualifications don't exist here,
not knowing certain things and not understanding some a couple of things fully, because it definitely wasn't anything with the wrestling. And honestly, once I've understood the story, it's like, oh, this is even better. But it's okay, because moving forward, we're in there. We're getting it. We understand it, or we're understanding it.
I'm excited about it because it's, again, coming from watching New Japan and now getting back into it, man. I would try to dip in during the pandemic. And I remember seeing Kota Ibushi win the title and seeing Sonata win the title and seeing certain people win. And I was like, I don't like any of these guys. So it was very difficult to watch New Japan around that time. But now, going into this new era, I'm excited to see what happens. And Suji, you better bring back that fucking heavyweight title now. You can't call yourself the heavyweight champion when technically you are the world heavyweight champion. I better see that fucking belt tomorrow, bro. We're going to have a fight. That's all I got to say. I need that belt back. But this is another episode of the Big Brothers of Destruction podcast, guys. If you've liked our content, please choke slam the like button, tombstone the subscribe button. We're here every week with new content and new videos, as we're going to try to get back into posting a lot more on TikTok and Instagram. But as always, the ring is sacred. The questions are real. The destruction is guaranteed. It is your host who likes to post, the Masaku.
And it's your boy, Swag Switch, in the building.
Till next time, guys, have a good one. And go get some sleep if you watch this shit, too, because goddamn.